Oh, did you hear that, Chewie? He had no choice.
Whoa, wait.
Welcome back, or welcome front if it's the first time viewing. Today we're talking Star Wars Galaxies. More specifically, we're talking Star Wars Galaxies Legends. More specifically, we're talking Bespin in Star Wars Galaxies Legends. We are recording, so untuck your shirt, stop yelling, and let's get started. Now, while we don't know the specifics of Bespin, we do know that it's coming out soon. The devs have been releasing some teaser pics and they've got me pumped. And by pumped, I'm talking freaking pumped. I'm so pumped that today I darn near snap-kicked an Ugnaught right in the face. That's not true. That wouldn't be very polite, but I'm pumped nonetheless. Now, the devs have been talking about Star Wars Galaxies Bespin for a while, and now they're releasing teaser photos. And from what we've seen, it looks great. From what we know, it's obviously going to be... That's the scripted part. Who am I kidding? We know nothing. I reached out to the devs. I'm like, hey, can you give me something? And they said, we can give you nothing. And it's true. They said, feel free to speculate, though. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's start by talking about what we know about Bespin in the Star Wars lore. And this will help paint a picture for our conjecture. Let's first discuss the engineering and environment aspects of Bespin. In particular, let's discuss Cloud City because that's what we've seen in the photos that the devs release, and we're pretty sure that that's what the primary focus is going to be. I guess that could be considered our first speculation. So, what is Cloud City? According to StarWarsFandom.com, Cloud City was a completely man-made Tabana, that one's tough. Tabana gas mining colony staff hovering over Bespin, occupied by millions of workers, tourists, and support staff. The top 50 levels of the city were used as a luxury resort and high-end casinos such as Eureth Bespin and Paradise. Cloud City was a tourist attraction that catered to the high-end, the non-scruffy looking clientele. The lower levels housed workers and catered for the mining and processing of the Tabana gas. We're going to call it Tabana gas. Remember, Cloud City is first and foremost a mining facility with a pretty package up on top. Essentially, Cloud City is the mullet of the universe. Business in the front, trashy in the back. That's how the mullet saying goes, right? In Cloud City, you see lots of humans, you see robots, you see human robots, and you see Ugnaughts. Are Ugnaughts humanoid? Creepy little guys. And it's secured by the Wing Guard, who patrol the skies in their cloud cars. And now we have a little bit of an understanding of what Bespin is, as if you didn't have an understanding already. So let's start our own personal speculation. I'm going to start with discussing who I believe that we will see. So knowing that the Star Wars Galaxies universe takes place in between episodes 4 and 5, it's safe to assume that Lando will be in there. I mean, look at this promo clip of what can only be considered some sort of sin club. I can totally see Lando drinking Colt 45s at the bar.
Williams talks about Colt 45.
There are 2 rules to remember if you want to have a good time. Rule number 1, never run out of Colt 45. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Lobot is bound to be there. Maybe we can get some of those implants that he has. And then there's the Ugnaughts. We know those little gremlins will be there. And what about combat? At first thought, it seems a bit difficult to imagine too much of a sandbox fighting content, but the more that I think about it, the lore states that the Cloud City consists of over 50,000 kilometers in total. As always, it's really difficult for me to have any level of understanding of the scale in the Star Wars universe. The whole idea of the Death Star is an absolute mind bomb to me. Besides, we already have the groundworks laid for indoor fighting in the rooms, so it's going to be plenty big enough, and the groundwork is laid. In fact, I mean, every player who has started Legends has started in the Tansari station. We've gone up and down the elevators, so I can imagine that just stretched out to the size of a small system. Fighting inside, there might be a little bit of fighting outside on the platforms, I don't know, but I don't think there'll be too big of a problem when it comes to combat. Storyline. What will the Bespin, I guess we'll call it expansion? What will the storyline be with the Bespin expansion? Again, the time frame, it lends itself nicely to an escape from the Cloud City storyline. That's what I would like to see. And again, remember that Star Wars Galaxies takes place right after the destruction of the first Death Star, so perhaps the devs will try to implement a quest line to save Cloud City from an Empire takeover. And if that's true, that means that we'll see the whole Rebel gang, along with Darth Vader and Boba Fett. Perhaps there'll be faction quests that we align ourselves with the Wing Guard as part of the main quest or side quest, because again, security is huge when it comes to Cloud City. The resources. Now I have to believe that there will be some sort of resource grinding there. I mean, perhaps that might be too big of a rabbit to pull out of too small of a hat, but the entire planet is a huge gas resource. Carbonite freezing, that was such a big aspect of Cloud City that I assume that there's going to be some sort of either a looting or something directly related to carbonite freezing. Now, this wasn't everything. This is just going to get the ball rolling. This is get the hype going. It's just speculation, but speculation's fun. And I want to hear from you. So jump down in the comments and tell me what you think the content will be about. If you like the content, subscribe and ring the bloody bell so that you can be informed when we put out new Star Wars Galaxies content. Oh, and share the video to a friend. Let's get the hype train going. Let's get the Bespin hype train going. I am Joshua with Weird Gaming Adventure, and I am a scruffy-looking nerf herder. See you in the next video.
Leia and the Wookiee must never again leave this city.
That was never a condition of our arrangement, nor was giving Han to this bounty hunter.
I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
This deal's getting worse all the time.
Furthermore, I wish you to wear this dress and bonnet.
This was never a condition of our
I
arrangement.
have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
And this deal's getting worse all the time.
Here is a unicycle. You will ride it wherever you go.
What? I'm not riding the f***ing unicycle.
I have altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
This deal is getting worse all the time.
Also, you are to wear these clowns.